All right, guys. Welcome to Module 3 Assignment Review. Now, before I get into the review, of course, there are a couple things I need to mention. First of all, I appreciate you guys' patience as I work on these videos. Unfortunately, we have hit in the Washington household a bout of the flu recently, and me, my wife, and all of my 4 children have all got it at all different times. It went through each one of us about a different day of the week. So, one by one, kept turning up with fevers and having to miss school, and me having to barely make it through work. And we've just been down for the count. It's been kicking our behinds. So I just appreciate everyone's patience. But the longer that I keep sitting back thinking, oh, I'll get to those videos, the more that I'm like, man, I'm going to fall behind. And I am, I do feel like I am a bit behind now. So I do apologize for that. Please bear with me as I try to catch up and do some more of these videos to get you guys the feedback that you deserve. Everybody's doing really good work. But I mentioned the sickness stuff just so you can give you a heads up about whether or not I'm coughing or if I sound like I'm a bit under the weather. Please bear with me. I also would like to say that this is going to be a long video. All the videos are going to be pretty long. We have 24 people in this class, and all of you are submitting stuff, which is good. So that means we have plenty to go through. So it is quite a process going through all of these. So again, as I've mentioned before, feel free to listen to this beginning part, see if there's anything important I need to say as far as announcements. And then from there, skip ahead to the one that's yours. Again, I'm not allowed to say the names of everybody, but I am allowed to. You can look at the file names here at the top in my Illustrator window, and those file names on these tabs will be able to tell you whose is whose. Also, I tend to go in alphabetical order by last name. So that's just because that's how Canvas organizes things. So just keep that in mind. But feel free to jump ahead to the one that's yours. You don't have to watch the entire hour plus video unless you just want to see what everyone else is doing. But without further ado, let's give these a look. Now, starting right off the bat, this is very good. I love your picture. I love your choice of chair. I think this looks very good. I'm going to be looking at, the chair as well as the sketch and the Illustrator drawing. So looking good here. I thought your sketch turned out nice. And let me see, because sometimes, the PDF is a better quality. This is good. This is a good line drawing. You captured a good perspective here on the chair. And again, this is an introductory course, right? So we're not looking to create the greatest fine art piece we've ever seen with these hand drawings, but I at least wanted to be able to see that you've captured the idea that we are going for a perspective shot of this chair. And then your drawing. Yeah, let's look at that. The vector drawing, because I thought this turned out pretty nice. I think you have a good thing going here. I think that your back corner, we have a sharp corner here. It would be nice to have that curved using your anchor point tool. Just curve that out. And I'm just holding down my command key or control key to use the secondary white arrow there. Now this right here, we have a little dimple right here from this point sticking out. So I'm going to select it, hold down the command key so I have this white arrow, and then I'm going to drag that handle over. Try to curve this out some. Maybe even bring it inward a little bit too. Just to smooth that out a little bit. Same thing down here. We have some spots that are a little slightly off. I would adjust those, make sure those are aligned with the other lines nearby. This one's sticking out a little bit. Push that back. Good. This one's a little too low. Make sure this is aligned with this up here. And notice how when your smart guides are on, make sure your smart guides are on. View, go down to smart guides, command U, make sure that those are on, because that'll tell you, it'll snap, boom, snaps right to it. Say, hey, you're on another line. Boop, snap. That's what you want. You want the snaps, all snap. So you take that, excuse me, and then I noticed too you were playing with your stroke weight, trying to have a little bit of difference here between these thinner lines on the couch, on the seat, I should say, the cushion, and then these thicker lines for the outside. I think that's fun. I think that's good. I don't think it's entirely necessary here. I think that maybe the best use of the stroke weight variation would be maybe for depth of field if you were trying to make it look like some parts were closer in space than others. Maybe this front whole part of the chair, these armrest and stuff, these legs are all thick lines, but then these ones back here for this leg and this armrest are thinner. I'd try something like that. But overall, this looks very good. This looks very good. I think you did a good job. I think you're capturing the idea. I think just a little bit of cleanup work would help you out, and also the perspective. I will say too on this seat here. Let me double check now with my picture. Yeah. So the idea here would be that you did a good job with your hand drawing, but for the vector drawing, I would suggest tracing the actual photo instead of your hand drawing because your hand drawing is close, but it's not quite as precise as the real thing. So for the vector drawing, I would recommend next time or just in the future as you do these kinds of things. These kinds of projects, definitely consider tracing the real thing, so that way we can get a bit more accuracy in that. Because, like for example, this perspective on this cushion is kind of wonky. You have this bar here on the legs going this way, but then you have the cushion going up. The cushion shouldn't really be going up, right? It should be going more like this to meet with the right. That looks a bit more like where the cushion should be going. And then your leg here, this part of the leg's going straight down, but this part's out here. So we want to make sure that it looks like this is all going in the same direction. All right. More like that. And then, of course, this needs to be more over here. See what I'm saying? So, anyway, just stuff to work on to help clean this up. But overall, this looks pretty good. You did a good job. Next. A very interesting chair choice. I think this is really good. That wicker back to it. It's a lot of fun. Now, granted, I was going to say in the tracing of it, I would love to see this wicker detail as close as you can get it. But I was going back. Yeah, so here's the photo. I did not get a sketch from you, a hand-drawn sketch from you. So your grade does reflect that is missing. But if you would like to turn that in, hopefully soon, that would be really, really great. I would love to be able to get that from you. But I do like this chair a lot. But I was a little sad to see that this is what we were left with because I would have really enjoyed to see a lot of this detail, a lot of this cushion, and then some of this ornate, carving. Oh yeah, look at the way that these different shapes are on there. And the posts here, the wood, the top, very nice. This wicker back would have been, that'd been so much fun. So I got to be honest, I was a bit disappointed to see that this is what I was given. So there is an opportunity later in the class. I think it's week 8 to submit assignment for a better grade, and I would definitely recommend doing that for this one because with this one, it's not just that I don't really have much detail in it, but also doesn't look like there's a lot of effort in this. It looks like we just kind of threw this together very quickly and didn't really, give it much time. So if it's a matter of time, then definitely you need to carve out more time for yourself to do this kind of thing. If it's a matter of effort, well, not really caring, then that's a different conversation we need to have. But I would really encourage more, more time put into future projects like this. All right, next. Let's see here. Yeah, no, so I like this chair choice. Very good. I do like that X in the back there. It's a nice stool. Very nice. I like your drawing. Your hand drawing looks good. I like that. Very good. Now, the seat is a little more flat than the back. You have this nice big back, and then you have this seat that looks like it's like half of what it should be, right? So make sure that looks a little deeper, a little longer. But of course, again, this is an introductory course, so we're not looking to have the greatest art ever made for these hand drawings, right? We're just looking to see if you capture the concept, and you did. You did capture a very good perspective on this drawing here, so that looks good. I like that you have guidelines in here for yourself. That's good. And then let's see. Oh, very nice. Yeah, you did a good job. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. This looks nice. I don't think the variation of stroke weight is really necessary. I see that you have some thinner lines here and thicker ones here. I don't think that's entirely necessary. I think this looks very good. You did a good job tracing the image of the chair. Just a little cleanup, little details here. Move that one in. You have a lot of points here where it looks like your curves could be a bit softer, a bit smoother. And you have it's a little twisted here. Just trying to get that to stick out some. So what you want to do is you want to have this end of the line have a curve sticking out this way using my anchor point tool here. And then I hold down Command or Control to have this little white arrow, and I can select the point. I can drag this handle. So you get that curve on this end, but you also want it to curve in here. You want it to kind of do this little swoosh thing. So you grab this end and you curve it this way. Then you grab this end and you curve it this way. That's how you get that little S curve in there. Okay. And then this point right here, I don't know if we really need it because we want this back part here to be pretty straight. So I'm going to actually delete that. Delete anchor point. Get rid of that. We'll do the same thing here. And then this actually could stand to come out a little bit. Right? Yeah. Cool. Same thing here. This curve that anchor point tool. Curve that a little bit here. Right? Oh. Are these not attached? Oh, those are not attached. That's why it's not moving with it. Here, let's solve that problem. Right click, join, select both points. And now they've been connected. So we're going to delete one. So now we just have the one point. So it's all the same line. And I'm going to curve that. Very nice. Just little details like that. That's what we're going for. Just a little bit of cleanup. But overall, this looks very good. A little point like here. Oop, But see, this is where the varying stroke weight starts to hurt us because we have the end of this line here that's very thick and we have it connecting to this one, but this one's not as thick. And so therefore it can't cover up the end of this one. Excuse me. Whereas if we were to do that, hello, we can't see it. We can't see that end there. So that's where it helps to have all the stroke weights be the same. But those are minor details. Overall, this looks really, really nice. You did a very good job. Very good job. Next. All right. Now let's see here. I did get Yes, this is a good chair choice. I like this. Those nice, simple kind of class chairs, church chairs kind of thing. I dig it. Your hand drawing was very nice. I thought that was a very good. The PDF is a bit better quality here. Yeah, this is very nice, very clean. I like that a lot. You did a really good job with the legs and getting that perspective very nicely. Very good job. This looks really nice. And then your vector drawing. And doing the vector drawing of the actual tracing the chair photo or tracing your hand drawing, it doesn't really matter either way, as long as it really kind of leans towards whichever one's more accurate. But your hand drawing is very good. So I didn't mind that you traced the hand drawing instead because it was still very accurate. So very good job there. Yeah, this looks great. Let me see here. Okay, so we do have little bit of some curving going on with the back. I think this curve's a little strong because I see the curve in the photo that you're talking about. So, but sometimes our creative eye is so strong that we're seeing things most people wouldn't. And so, what happened there? Whoa! Oh, okay. This is all twisted. So sometimes when we see things other people wouldn't, we capture a detail that didn't need to be captured necessarily. Um, so it actually becomes more noticeable that you captured it, like that little bump here. I see it, but a lot of people who look at that picture probably wouldn't see it. So it's something where let's just soften that a little bit, okay? So we have a very slight raise there, but nothing too drastic. And then yeah, this is all very good. You have your varying stroke weights. A lot of students have been doing that for this assignment with the different stroke weights changing. I don't think it's entirely necessary. I think that you used it correctly though, and that depth of field is where that's helpful. So you have the one in front being much thicker and the one in back being lighter. Legs in back lighter, excuse me, legs in front thicker. I think you did good. And then I can see here where you have it tapering. That's good. The way that you used it was good. I don't think it's entirely necessary for this assignment, but the way that you used it was appropriate. So kudos to you. Very good. I'm impressed. I'm impressed with this one. This one looks really good. Some points I think could use a little bit more curvature. So here, let me help you out. So you're doing such a killer job. I'm going to give you a little more detail here on how this works. So a curve like this, you've got this point here where the bend starts. You have here, which is the center, the middle of the curve of the metal, and then you have this point here where the bend ends, right? And I can see what you're doing. You're trying to capture that whole curve properly, and you've done it. You've started off doing it the right way. You've got the point for the start, the point for the end, and the point for the middle. So you've done that correctly. The only thing that needs to be tweaked here is just how much each point has a say in the curve, right? So this point has very little curvature contributed, which is good because you really don't need much from this. Same thing on this side. This one, you don't really need much from this side either. Really, a lot of the curvature should lean on the center point if you can. Depending on the kind of curve that it is, usually that's the case. So right here, we already see, boom, we got a nice smooth curve flow in here, okay? Right, let the middle one do most of the work. And if the middle one does most of the work, but it's still a bit uneven on either side, that's where you can take these endpoints and curve them a little bit to make it better aligned. But the middle one, usually the point at the center of the curve, of the bend, should do most of the work as far as capturing that full curve, okay? Same thing here. So this one here, we don't need as much give from that side. We don't need as much give from that side. Let this one do the work here in the middle, okay? Look at that. And now I'm going to tone it back a smidge just because we are getting a little bit of an overshot on this side. Angle that, angle that. And then this line just needs to be here. See? Look how smooth. That's what we want. All right. So that's a helpful tip to you because I can see what you're doing. I can see you're doing it in the right way. We just need that little extra tidbit to make sure we get that smooth curve that we want. But great work here. You're doing a really good job. Keep it up. Keep it up. Doing very good. All right. Next. I love all these guidelines. It shows that you're really trying to do it right. I love this chair. This is a very sleek, modern design. I think that looks great. I remember having these chairs in college and they were always helpful because I like to lean back in my chair. And so I always enjoyed kicking back in those. Your hand drawing looks good. I think you did a great job with that. I love your guidelines. I think your guidelines look good. I'm going to pull those back just to take a closer look at this. We got a good thing going here. We got a really good thing going here. Some of the 3D elements here are a little little, or they're missing. They're not a little off. They're really just missing. Like we need an edge. Oop, sorry about that. We need an edge here, like that for the front side of the leg. We need now this. Let me look at the picture again. Yeah, so this meets here. There we go. This to meet here. I want this to go up here. Do that kind of thing, right? Want this to have a cross line here to show that bend. Don't be afraid to connect these lines. I see you have a lot of these lines are all separated. And that's why you're getting these sharp points here, because they're not connected, right? There are separate lines. And so you get these blocked off ends to these strokes. And that's not what you want. You want these to look like corners, right? So you select both of them. I'm going to select both those endpoints. I'm going to right click, join. Boom. Look at that. Now it's one line. Now it's one line. That's all you need. Just a one line. We don't need both of these end lines here. We don't need that. Come on. Make sure I'm going to drag it so that way they're touching, and then I'm going to right click, join. Boop. Look at that. That's what we want. We want these single lines, right? These are all set, like right here. These are separate lines, and they're also separate weights. We don't want that. We want them to be the same. Join. Look at that. This one still kept both points being separate, so I'm going to delete one. Now it's just one line. That's what we want. Now these, obviously, these ones, they're not going to be able to connect to this line here, right? So we just need to make sure that their endpoints are hidden within the stroke of the other line. Very nice. Very nice. I think you did a good job capturing some contours here. Now the cushion does, the seat of the chair does look a little bit wobbly. Let's go ahead and look at that. You have too many points here. Anytime you have too many points, it starts to look a little wobbly. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to delete some of those. Don't need all those. You say, well, Washington, Professor Washington, how do we, so we take this one here, this curve, and just use the curves. Use the curves on it. Pull that out here, pull this down here. This one's got a curve on this end. This one's got a curve on that end. Boom. Smooth. Look at that. That's all we need. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Less is more. Less will get the job done with these curves. Don't worry. Don't worry. Get what we want out of that. Nice. Very good. That's the kind of thing we're going for. Like right here, we don't need both of these. Get rid of one of those. You just pull this down. Boop. There you go. Right? That's the kind of thing I'm talking about. So less is more with the points. Don't overdo it. Don't need the varying stroke weights, I think. Making them all the same would be helpful. And then just making sure that we fill in the gaps for some of those 3D, for those edges we're missing. So make sure we fill those in. And just a little cleanup work about our points, making sure that our points all connect where they're supposed to, making sure that they can be, endpoints can be hidden, lines are connected, all that kind of stuff, right? So overall, very good. Very good. Those are all minor things, right? Little details just to help you going forward with a little cleanup work. But other than that, you definitely captured the chair very well, and it made a lot of sense. The perspective was good. So good job with that. Next. This is a really interesting chair. I think that's really cool. Definitely looks cozy. Man, I could probably fall asleep in that. So it looks good. I love your drawing here. Your hand drawing of it was very nice. I like that a lot. You did a really good job with this. And then I see that you had some guidelines. It's good. Good for helping yourself. This vector drawing is fantastic. It looked really, really good. Did a really good job. Just a few minor things missing. I do have a line that's missing here. We need to make sure that that carries through, right? Like that. I think you did a decent job with the varying stroke weight. I see that the arm and the legs have different stroke weights, and then the seat cushion has a lighter weight to it. I don't think it's entirely necessary to have that variation, but I think it works here with the way that you did it, so that's good. The main way that I would approach it, if you wanted to do that, would be to allow to let the what am I trying to say? Oh, the varying stroke weights capture depth of field. So the side, the armrest and leg of the chair that are further back in space would have lighter lines, thinner lines than the one that's closer. But again, not entirely necessary. Okay, so it does look like you do have the divot for the cushion here where it bends, but we need to make sure that the crease is in there too. That's what this line is. This line is the crease, which means that then this line should really come down more this way, like that. Yeah. Right. Oh, this is actually curved. Okay, good. I think this all looks nice. Let's look. So in this case, even though this armrest is a bit rounded around the edges, we do get to see the inside portion of it. Well, I guess I'm okay with how you did this actually. The way that you have this line come up here for this bend to this corner, but then it stops there. I'm okay with that. There's a certain illustrative style that allows for that kind of indication of a corner without showing the full inside edge of it. I'm okay. I'm cool with that. I'll roll with that. That makes sense. That works. Excuse me. Uh yeah, and then the only other thing I was gonna say was just capturing your full curves everywhere. Like, uh, check that picture again. Want to make sure I look at this before I say anything. Like here, for example, I'd probably try to smooth this one out. I've got the white arrow direct selection tool. I'm trying to make sure that when you have your handles for your anchor point curves, your Bezier curves, when they are not straight, they're not parallel with the rest of the stroke, they form a corner, right? So if you want it to look smooth, you need it to be parallel, but still pull it out some to curve it, right? So now we have this nice smooth bend there. The top here, I was thinking this point, we probably didn't need that point. What we probably want, if you're wanting to have any sort of curvature around the middle, is just put a point right in the middle and just drag it up a touch. And that gives you this nice bend, right? On that cushion. But yeah, I mean, overall, this is really, really good. I really don't have much more for this. Little, make sure this endpoint is hidden here. Just little things, right? Little things. But this looks great. Really great job here. This looks very good. Well done. Next. Okay. This I thought was interesting. I saw what the chair was that you chose. Now, granted, the part of the assignment was the instructions were to take a picture of a chair, actually that you actually have with you, like physically take your phone out and take a photo of a chair that you see around you. But this one that you chose that you pulled offline, this actually looks really interesting. Those are fun chairs, those hanging ones. And the fact that you have your perspective grid view on is actually pretty interesting. And you're using it well. I mean, this is correct with how you have it laid out. So good for you for figuring that out. If that's helpful to you, then more power to you. That's good. But as far as the actual drawing of the chair, this is where I was getting a little lost. I feel like we're kind of not really capturing what we should be. You've got the general shape, you've got some of the elements here, but I'm not sure why it's black and white. I did say that we didn't need to worry about the negative space drawings, and so that's not included in this. And so I'm not really, and that looks like maybe what you were doing, but that's not necessary. I'm more worried about a tracing of the actual chair, which in this case would be very advanced because of all this woven detail into the back, right? So next time I would definitely choose something much less complicated. And you've captured general shapes here, but you don't have many curves either. These are all very straight, jagged edges. It just seems like maybe this was something that was kind of thrown together. Um, or if you did spend a long time on it, then hey, let me know. Reach out to me and let me know. Say, hey, am I doing this right? Because I would definitely recommend resubmitting this one if you're able to, if there's one you want to resubmit. In week 8, I think, is when we have the opportunity for that. So definitely reconsider redoing this one. Choose a much simpler chair. Please do yourself a favor. Choose a much simpler chair that you have in your home and trace that directly. Do the nice curved line drawing on. And this is just a line drawing. We don't need any of these fill shapes. Just do the line drawing on it and submit that, please. That'd be great. But otherwise, I can see where you're going with it. But I think that this definitely needs a bit more. I can imagine that you probably got into it and we're like, oh my goodness, how's this going to work? So do yourself a favor, pick a simpler chair and redo it and resubmit it later. I think that'd be for your benefit. Next. All right. Nice chair choice. I always like seeing the chairs you guys pick because they're all different. I saw your hand sketch looking good. I think you did a good job. Again, this is not supposed to be like the greatest art ever. This is an introductory course. So I think that you've done well capturing a perspective here on this chair. And then tracing the photo, looking very nice. Very nice. Some detail work, of course, some minor details like trying to capture the depth of the back here. I see that you've got that on some of this. You want to make sure to close these lines here. All right. You want to close those up. That kind of stuff. You've got some extra. Oh, this is all wonky here. I'm going to add a point there and I'm just going to delete that one instead. All right. Just doing a little cleanup. That's it. Cool. Just stuff like that, make sure that if you're going to have that little 3D inside view, that you do that on each of these, right? Of course, I'm just eyeballing it real quick. Stuff like that, closing those up. What is that line? Okay, just kind of capturing the top of it there. Or is that the crease? Is that a crease? Anyway, making sure all these lines have purpose, right? So if this is a crease, then bring that all the way across. Curves. This could really stand to be curved. Look at this. We got this kind of jagged thing going on here because it's just a bunch of points. But notice how that's not really curved, right? We can see it looking bumpy. That's not what we want. I'm going to make this as quick and easy as I can for you. Bezier curves make things so much easier in life. I promise you. Put a point here. Got this point here. I don't need these. I'm going to leave a point at this leg, a point at that leg, and I'm going to leave a point in the middle. Okay. I'm going to get rid of that point. Get rid of that point. Check this out. Anchor point tool. Grab that middle point. Whoa, bang. Done. Check that out. Check that out. Curve this one a little bit. Done. Look at that. Curve this out here. Curve this out here. Oh, snap. That's it. That's all. Look at that. Right? And I'm being goofy about it because I want you to see how easy this is. I want to make it clear that, like, hey, this really isn't a huge deal, you know? And, you know, it's funny. Like, students really struggle sometimes with the Bezier curves. And I know that that's like a mathematic thing that we don't study a whole lot. So it can be tricky. But once you get the hang of it and you practice it, like, oh man, it makes things so easy, right? You can make any curve that you want out of these things. It's super cool. It just takes some practice, right? So definitely recommend spending time with it. Check that out. Check that out. Probably don't even need this point here. Get rid of it. Boom. It's gone. Look at that. Smooth. All right. That's the kind of thing we want when it comes to our curves. Okay. So do something like that. You look at where different key points in the arch are. So like I put a point here, anchor point at the leg, anchor point at the leg, and then just one in the middle to help arch it, right? You got this point here at this leg, and you got this point here at the front of the seat, and then I just got one in the middle to arch it, right? I mean, that's really all you need. So just look at it that way when you do these curves, and just keep playing with it, all right? So overall, you did a really good job. You've captured the chair very well. You've captured all the elements of it, and it's got a good perspective. So you did a great job there. Just some little cleanup and details. And and I saw you have some different stroke weights. I don't think that's really necessary. I'd make them all the same for the sake of this assignment. But overall, very, very good work. Oh, fun. Oh, it's funny. When I first saw this one, I thought, good chair choice, but I also saw the TV and I was like, I wonder what they got back there. I want to see what they're watching. I always wonder sometimes if anybody's got like Fortnite back there or something, because if you got Fortnite in the background, then you're getting to see some of my work lately. But anyway. All right. Good chair choice. Good picture. I think I saw your... Yep, hand drawing is good as well. And then, yes, right. So your line drawing was good. You captured the chair well. I like you used guidelines as well. That's very good. Very good. The only thing is your curves. If we turn this back on, I see that so it looks like you did curve this leg pretty well, actually. Yeah. Look at that. Got a nice curved leg there. Do that to everything, do that because the back is, I see you got a bit of a curve on the back here too. I feel like it's a little overdone on the curve. Maybe. I don't need this point. I'm going to delete that. Delete that. With the curves, we don't need too many points, right? Just get a start point, an end point, and then a midpoint. That's usually kind of a good rule of thumb for your Bezier curves. And then boom, that's all you need, right? So there's that. And then this part here, like these corners, I think could really stand to be curved here. So what I would do is I would get rid of that edge. I'm going to select both of these with the white arrow tool. I'm going to select both of these anchor points here. Click, drag, and select them both. Right click, join. So that makes that one line now. And I still have both points, but I don't need them. So I'm going to delete one. So I just need the 1 point. I'm going to take my pen tool. I'm going to click this corner. Boom. Now we have that cross line, right? But granted, if we look at yeah, I guess you can kind of see that. I was going to say, you don't know if I need an edge there, but there is kind of a little bit of an edge there. So I'll give you that. I think that's fine, but I do want to still curve this a little bit. I'm just gonna just a little bit. See, that's nice. But yeah, I think this is good. Just to curve that corner a little bit, you know. I would do the same thing to this corner here as well, because the cushion is not spiked. It doesn't have pointy, real pointy corners. It's still smooth, soft, you know. So yeah, I would go for that kind of thing with those curves and stuff like that. But overall, very good. Oh, little details like making sure this aligns there is good. Make sure this is hidden there. You know, little details like that, right? But overall, you captured the chair well. You did a good job. I would just do some little touch ups like that to really bring it home. And looks good. Good job. Next. All right. Let's see here. Wow, everything is in a clip group. My goodness. I don't know why Illustrator does that sometimes. All right, like the chair choice. It looks good. Looks comfortable. See this hand drawing. Oh, that's fun. Good job. I like how you did these little swirls and the wheels too. That's nice. Good job. It looks like fun. You did a great job. This leg. I've had students in the past want to do chairs like this where it has like this 5-way spider leg thing going on. And those can be tricky. So you did a really good job here with that hand drawing. So then yeah, this looks good. This is looking good. Looks like you did a good job. Your curves are nice. I love this. Very nice. These curves like this seem to be a struggle sometimes. We did get a little wonky over here. So I definitely want to get rid of some of these just to smooth that out some, right? And even if there is a bump there, you don't want that many that many anchor points for that. No, this is looking great. This looks good. These all look nice. It's coming around. You don't want to. You definitely want to make it look like. Oh, let me do this anchor point tool here. Select that point. Bring that out. So just the handle. I'm trying to get just the hold end of the handle because right now you kind of have it to where this feels a little too smooth. It doesn't feel like the wheel is a separate piece necessarily. So you want to kind of make that angle a little bit more perpendicular, a little more sharp of a contrast. Yeah. Yeah. You want this to look like it's still one piece here because even though you have this line is separate, right? But you still want it to look like the leg is all one piece here. Cool. All right. And one note I'll give you. So when you want your anchor points, when you want your curves or your corners to look smoother. So like, for example, you want this line to make it look like this right here is all one piece right here. So you want to go ahead and make sure that curve is parallel to the line. So all this right here should be parallel. Now it's still going to be curved because you can pull this out, but you still want it to be parallel with the rest of the stroke because now it looks like it's one shape. See that? Whereas before, it looked like we had a divot here, right? That's the kind of thing you're looking for. Okay, probably don't need this many points for a straight edge. Like to here, it starts to curve, but the rest of this is straight. So just get rid. That's good. But yeah, that kind of thing. Like, probably don't need that. Well, actually, let me look at the picture. What are we referring to here? Oh, I see. Trying to capture this round part here. If you're going to do that, then I would definitely make sure to capture the rest of this curve then. That was here. All right. Grab our anchor point tool. Let's make that look like one line. Let's make this look like one line. Let's hide the photo so we can see what we're doing. So now that can all look like it's one thing, right? Cool. Basic cleanup stuff, right? Nothing crazy, but definitely stuff that can help. Just give it that one little that extra little, nudge, looking professional. Very good overall though. You did a lot of great curves in this. You captured the chair very well. So very good work. I like this one a lot. All right, let's see here. Next, we've got the sketch. Oh, your PDF has the picture. Good. That's a nice chair. I like it. This carving work on the front legs. That's nice. That's real fun. You did a good job capturing that in your hand drawing too. This looks good. I like that. Excuse me. Looking good. I don't think the varying stroke weights and the tapering and stuff is necessary, but it looks like you were having fun with that. I think that's good to experiment. But overall, I think it'd be helpful, just more in general, to make them all the same weight, just so everything's, all the lines are just as visible. Because that also helps with stuff like here, where this one is a little. You can't really hide the endpoint of this line inside this line because this line is not thick enough. Whereas if you made that line thicker, hey, now we don't see the endpoint there. Get what I'm saying? So that's a kind of a good reason to have all these lines be the same thickness. But overall, this is pretty good. Just watch your curves. Right there, it's a corner. We don't want a corner. We want a curve. Make sure we curve that, right? It's our anchor point tool. Curve that out. We don't need both of these points here. Too many points makes for bumps in the curve. Just need that point and just pull this out further. See? Look at that. Very good. So overall, these are looking very good. I mean, you captured a lot of the lines very well. It's just a matter of some basic cleanup with the curves, which way they're going, and little bumps. Like there's a little bump right there. Want to smooth that out probably. But, Oh, and making all the strokes the same thickness, the same weight, I think would be helpful. But overall, this looks very good. You did a good job capturing the carving work on the front legs as well. So you did very good. Next. Good chair choice. Good hand drawing. I like it. That looks really nice. The negative was not required for this assignment, but your negative does look good. Guidelines. I see you did a vector negative. Now, this is actually really clean. This negative down here is actually, again, it's not required, but yeah, you did a good job of it. Very clean. Your line drawing is spectacular. Look at this. I love this. The varying stroke weights is not necessary. Just, I might need to go back and check the assignment instructions because a lot of you guys did that. I think, you know what? I think I might have now that I think about it, I might have mentioned in one of the videos that it can be fun to do that. So I think a lot of you guys actually listened to me and did that, which is great because a lot of students don't. So I think it's good that you guys did, but it's not entirely necessary. But I think you guys are doing a good job playing with that. That's a good thing to experiment. So I don't ding anybody for that. Goodness, I don't have much to say about this. This is looking very good. Just the tapering of the stroke weight can be tough for spots like this where you can hardly see anything. It gets really, really thin. We don't want that. We definitely want to be able to see that line very well. And then little things like down here, this is kind of, I don't know what's going on here. This kind of janky little corner there. Get rid of all that. Get rid of that. Delete. Bring that down. See, but then when we have these tapering lines and stuff, then we can't hide these. Like this right here, that looks kind of jacked up, right? We don't want that. So I'm going to select with the white arrow too. I'm going to select both of those anchor points there, right click, join. And that makes it one. No, that did not work. Why did that not work? Probably because this other line. Yeah, because this line is probably got a special treatment on it with the tapering. That's probably why it's not working. Let's try this again. There it goes. Joined. Now it's one line. And now it looks like a corner instead of this weird gap looking kind of thing, right? That's what we're going for. That's the kind of thing that we're going for. 2 point is good. All right. So if you were to do any cleanup on this, that's what I would recommend. Making all the strokes the same width, the same weight, and then like all 2 point maybe. And then I would just try to make sure all these corners are joined and you don't need the tapering and stuff like that. Just because even though those things are fun to experiment with, you're left with spots like this thick line and this thin line. And this thick line is left looking like it's just floating in space. Like, what is that? Because these ones are so thin. That's the kind of thing that I'm talking about. So, but overall, I mean, you captured this chair so well. These lines look so good. It's very clean. Great job. Got all the details in there. So really, really well done. All right. Good chair choice. Yeah, your hand drawing was good. Yeah, hand drawing was good too. All right. This chair looks really good. Minor details. Like this right here. Could probably curve this. That'd probably be good to do something just a little bit, like that. That's nice. Make this look like a nice curved cushion sticking out of the metal there. Probably curve this a little bit more. I curve this side too because you kind of want this gap here to look kind of even all the way through. And right now it's looking a little thicker here than it is over here. So I'm going to push that in a little bit that way. Okay, looks a little bit more even all the way through. Make sure these curves match. Good. Very good. Just going to pull that back a little bit, I think. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, that looks good. I would definitely want to see you capture some of these parts in here because that shows me how there's like this wooden piece, or not wooden, this metal piece that comes across this like crossbar thing that helps secure the chair there. And I think there's actually like a little circle over here too, isn't there? That like helps hold it on or something like that. Those kinds of details are nice to include, can be good. Um and then this here, like this, I don't think we need that. I don't think we need that. Really don't think we need that either. I think we really just need one middle point and just curve that sucker. There we go. Cool. Get rid of that. Yep. Sweet. That boom, there's your curve. Got a point up here. We kind of want this to be a bit smoother, right? We want that to be more like a curve, not a point. So not like a corner. So we're gonna raise that up a bit. Boom. Smooth, right? Little things like that. Little things like that are what I would do for the cleanup on this. But everything else looks great, man. You did a good job. We do need to have a line here, just so that way it looks like this is forward in space, right? So yeah, I mean, little things. But overall, this looks great, and I can tell it's a chair, and you got the perspective down. So you did a good job with this. Just little things I would recommend if make it just kind of bring it to the next level. But good work. All right, this looks like a fun chair. Whoever came up with designing chairs, like I wonder if there's a mechanism underneath the chair that helps support these legs. Because when you have four legs like that, just straight up and down, I'm like, I am bound to have that chair collapse on me. I don't know. Like I don't know. I sit in chairs like that and I'm like, man, these are like stilts. I'm about to fall over. But the cushion looks very comfortable. So I don't know, maybe it would be a good chair. This is nice. I like your hand drawing. It looks good. Guidelines, good. Good. The negative space drawing was not required for this assignment, but you did a good job with it though. Okay, it's good. Get rid of that. Okay, we've got a good thing going here. I think the varying of stroke weight is really not helpful here. I don't think it's really necessary, and there's nothing that really adds to it. I think these legs are just a little crooked. I would definitely just want to move those. Oh, we probably don't need that point there. One too many points, I think. Don't really need that curve. Just have that be more straight up and down. I would love to see that lattice pattern in the cushion. That's yeah, that'd be nice to get all those lines in there. That would be nice. I would love to get all those. So that would have been really nice to have. But you did capture the shape of it, which is good. I'll just make sure that you curve this up here. And this is where those varying thicknesses are noticed, right? Definitely want to make those more the same. Because then when they're the same, look, it doesn't look like they're two separate lines. It looks like they're the same, right? Helpful. But overall, good. You did a good job. I mean, it looks like a chair. You did good. Your lines and everything. I would just clean up some of the lines, make the weight all the same, the stroke weight all the same. Your curves are pretty good. That's a tough thing to get sometimes is the curve. So you did a good job with the curves. And then I would just capture that lattice pattern, that pattern for the back for the cushion. I thought it looked really nice. I think I'll give it a little more character. So very good. Very good. Next. This is a nice chair. Looks comfortable. Yeah. And honestly, I think because you took this class before, right? So I think this actually might be the same chair you did for that class. And it looks good. This drawing is good. Picture's good. This is very good. And here, I like a lot of the students are doing this varying stroke weight. And here you actually used it very well, where you have these thinner lines here and then thicker lines for the outside edges. I think you did a good job with that. Only just a couple things. This curve here, I think with this leg is a little overdone. Oh, I see. You can't see the whole leg because of that. Oh, okay. In that case, then I would say it's probably more you need this leg like this. Excuse me. You want to make sure that this aligns with the perspective angle very well. And I'd probably do something like that. All right. I feel like that works a little bit better. Yeah. I kind of dig that. What do you think? I think that's good. And then just a little bump here. We want to get rid of that. So I'm going to delete that point that was causing the bump, and I'm going to put one point in the middle and then drag that out a little bit to curve that cushion. And then this cushion, I don't think, yeah, it doesn't really have a sharp corner. It has a nice curved corner. So bring that curve up and then bring it out a little bit. Look at that. Nice little curved edge there. Curved corner. So yeah, this is looking very good. Just little details here to help literally round this out. Um, but overall, you did a really good job. Really good job. Line work is good. Captured great depth, great perspective. The thinner lines on this cushion actually work pretty well. So, really good job. Next. Oh, this is fun. I like that back of the chair, this design. Very nice. The nice carving curvature here. This should be fun to work with. Great hand drawing. Very nice. Love this cross hatching for the underside to give it that little depth of shadow. Very nice. Wow, you did a good job capturing the details in depth too, because you have like this, you have the thickness here of the back, all showing along the sides. You have this divot here in the middle. Like you did a good job. This is great. You were very talented. Very nice. And you keep emailing me. You crack me up because you keep emailing me all these questions about different things, asking about stuff, and I think it's a good thing. I'm happy to answer the questions, but I just want to assure you, you have nothing to worry about because I just look at stuff like this and I'm like, you're killing it. You're killing it. So I think you're doing a great job. And then oh, look at that. Yeah. Don't need the varying stroke weight. I see that you've kind of captured this well with the depth of field, this front in space and thicker and the lighter towards the back. That's the right way to do it, but I don't think you need it. I think this looks great. This looks really good. Your curves are good. I mean, if I had to be like super nitpicky, I would probably take this, move this up just a tad, and probably round it out just a little bit more. Oh, now it looks a little flatter, though. I don't want that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, and this back looks so good. Great job capturing all those. Wow. Wonderful job. This looks great. Really well done. I don't have any other comments for you. Wonderful. All right. What do we got going on here? What am I missing? Oh, I probably did it this way so I could tell myself to go look at the PDF. Yeah. Oh, this is fun. Looking at the wicker seat. Oh, that's fun. And that would probably be that's a lot of detail. If you were to capture all that, it'd be insanely cool, but I don't expect you to do that. But I do expect you to capture the detail on the posts, on the legs and stuff. That'd be cool. Even this chair back here looks fun and cushy too. You got some fun chairs. Hand drawing, very good. And I do like you captured this X shape in the seat. That's good. This is very nice. Very nicely done on the back and everything. Really well done. Would you look at that? Very cool. Very cool. Okay. Just a few things I would recommend. I would not treat it like a silhouette. I would carry some of these detail lines all the way through. So let that, oh, we don't want that filled. Show us how, you've got, sorry. Show us how these are sectioned out, right? Stuff like that. And then these back parts here, really nice. But I can see what you're doing, trying to get these curves here. And I'll tell you right now, I'm going to give you some help with these curves, okay? Because doing curves like this is not how we do curves, because then you see all these bumps, right? Bumpy. You don't need that. I'm going to make this super easy for you, okay? Just delete that whole thing. Don't need it. I'm going to leave those little ends so I can see where I start and end at. Okay. Starting point. The dip right here, because it dips down and then it goes up over and it dips down again and it comes back. Okay. So I'm going to go to the middle of where it dips down. Point. Just one point. And then it dips upward. Not dips upward. Rises upward. Curves upward. So right in the middle, at the top of that curve, point. Right? Maybe even a little higher. Then back down to another dip. Right? Bottom center of that dip, 1 point. And then the end. Okay. That's it. That's all I'm going to do. Now watch this. Anchor point tool. Click and hold the pen. Anchor point tool. Curve this bad boy right here. Click and drag to curve him. Curve this bad boy over here. Click and drag. And this guy right here. Would you look at that? Now, as I look at it, I'm like, I should probably adjust these. Right, so I can adjust them to look more balanced with everything else. Check that out. Look how smooth that is. Look how smooth that is. That's all you need. Each one of these, that's all you need. Same thing if I want to do the underside. Here, let's do the underside. Start here. Down to the bottom of the dip. Now we have this little M thing going on, right? So actually, you know what? Let me leave this here so I can show you. That might help you out better. Start point, bottom of the dip, top of this M arch here, top of it. Bottom of this little midpoint dip, top of this M arch right here. Bottom of this dip. Like we're just looking for the midpoints. We're looking for all the midpoints of these curves, right? Where it dips, where it rises. We're looking for the midpoint, that peak, right? So down in the valley, high on the peak, right? So now I'm going to delete that other line. Hold down my pen tool, get my anchor point tool right here. Curve that sucker. Look at that. Boop, 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 boop. Yeah. Nice. Now let me look back at your let me just find that photo again. Yeah, they're curved. That little nose, the little M, it's curved. It's soft curve. So we're gonna pull these out a little more. That sure it stays nice and soft. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah. Nice and smooth. Oh, that looks great. If I'm just thinking, if you all of those look like that for your back of the chair, that would rock. But and again, I only say that because that's just one way to level this up a little bit, right? Just make it a little bit more like a pro level drawing. But you've captured so much of this so well already. That's why I'm getting nitpicky here. Like those are little details, right? But if you were to apply those, this would really level this thing up. But really good job here. Love how you've captured all these legs, these curves. You curved each end of the leg, these posts and everything. Really good job. I love this chair. Great choice and good job with the design of it. It looks you did really good with all this. All right, next. Pull up the PDF. Nice chair choice. I like it. Good classic wood. Good hand drawing. Very nice. And then we'll look at the line drawing. The varying thicknesses here of the strokes is a bit drastic. I would tone that back for sure. Clip groups. I can't stand the clip groups. Overall, very good though. Captured the lines very well. I like you did each one of these posts on the back very nicely. That's very good. One of the downsides to having this varying thickness of stroke is like right here, where you see this line, these edges feeding into this one. This one's so thick that when these other ones feed into it, doesn't really like make sense, right? Doesn't really look like how it's all well balanced. Like if we do this, get all the same. And then we can hide these ends inside that line. Hide this inside. Boom. Now that looks like one thing, right? That nice one object, one shape. So that's part of that with the varying stroke weights, and then little cleanup details like making sure this connects here and this connects here. But again, you also see the difference with it being varying stroke weights. So another reason to make both of these lines the same weight, because if you do, then it starts to look like one line, right? Hey, look, that looks like it's the same line. So that's the point there for doing that. The rest of this looks pretty good. You've captured the legs well, and the seat is good. I'll definitely watch this curve here. Well, it looks like this is an actual outline shape, not a stroke. Definitely want to make sure this is curved, though. If we want to go click and drag, click and drag, click and drag. That's it. This one here could probably be more like this. Yep. Yep. Make that a little thicker. Check it out. Nice smooth curve all the way around there. That's what we're going for. Nope. What is going on there? Okay, so be careful. So it looks like you turn some of these strokes into outlines. So they're fill shapes instead of strokes. We don't want to do that. Okay, we want to leave them as strokes. So just making sure you understand that. But yeah, the rest of this looks very good. So just minor details, but to really level this up a bit. But outside of that, this is well done. Good job. Oh, yes. With this one, I wasn't really sure what was going on. I think I have this one out of order. A great chair choice. Love this chair choice. Love the color as well. This looks really nice. The 5 legs here can be tricky, but some students enjoy doing that. I thought your hand drawing was good. You did a good job. And then, but then with this, I was a little disappointed because I was hoping I'd be able to poke around in your line work here. I will say too, I think I only got a PDF. I didn't get an AI file. So please next time submit the AI as well. So that way I can be messing around with it. When I open the PDF in Illustrator, this is all I get. It's just an image. And this looks like you literally just took a screenshot of your drawing. That's not what I want. I want the actual drawing. I want you to submit the AI. I want you to export it as a PDF. Like, that's what I want. So please next time be sure to follow directions and submit the actual drawing, because then I can go in and help show you how to clean up some of this. But so it looks like you did all right. You know, your drawing follows more of your hand drawing. And I really want it to be more of a tracing of the photo of the chair. And so if I could see you trace the photo of the chair, that would definitely be a lot better. But anyway, so please next time be sure to submit a file where I can actually work with the lines and show you how to clean it up. And then also just following the directions of that and not submitting a screenshot, right? But submitting the actual file that you worked in would be helpful. But yeah, so next. All right, let's look at the PDF. Nice, good chair choice. Looks comfortable. I love the hand drawing. Very nice. I like how you've captured the way that this kind of comes around and has this inset here. I like how you captured that right here. That's nice. All right. And then your line drawing looks good. Your Illustrator drawing. 2 things. Number 1, I would definitely love to see you add those like buttons and the cross hatching pattern on the back of the cushion next time. I think that would be really fun to do. It's not too complicated, so I think that would be really nice. And then the second thing is just some of your curves. So you have some nice curves in here. I think this one turned out pretty well. Then some of them, here's what I see. Here's what, and a lot of students do this when they go to do curves. They start doing this, right? That's not how we do curves, okay? Because what we're left with is this little janky, bumpy looking thing. Okay, we don't want the bumps. Don't eat the bumps. We want a nice, smooth curve. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna click at the starting point where the curve starts. We're going to click at any peaks and valleys of our curves. Okay, so we have this part of the back kind of juts out just a tad. So we're going to click there. We're going to go back to the center curve of the back of the chair. We're going to click right in the middle of it. Right in the middle of it. I guess you could call that a peak, maybe, right at the climactic curve, the point of the curve that's right in the center. We have a curve right here because of where that depth starts to shift around. We have a point right here because we have this curve here, and that's the peak of that curve. And then we have the end of this line here. I'm going to delete that. Oh, I guess I should take this all the way around. Yeah, I'll take this all the way around. Cool. All right, click and drag to curve that a little bit. Click and drag to curve this out quite a bit. Click and drag just a little bit there. And now I do need this one to come around a little touch more to try to capture this. Yeah, that's cool. Cool. See that? See how nice and smooth that is now? All the way around. That's what we want. That's what we want, right? So that's how we do our curves. I would definitely do that approach for every curve that you do in Illustrator. All right. Make sure you use the Bezier. The Bezier curve points. And, but yeah, that's my one main recommendation to you. Other than that, this looks really, really good. Spectacular job. All right. Great chair choice. I like it. Good. Used guidelines. Good. Great hand drawing. That looks nice. Good job. Very clean. All right. Good Illustrator drawing. I dig it. I'm going to pull back the guidelines. Pull out that photo again. Yes. This looks good. I love that all your lines are the same thickness. Thank you. Most of the students did varying stroke weights, which is okay. But in this case, very beneficial that you made them all the same. That was good. Just make sure that we close off some of these. Oh, what is that weight? 5. Just close off some of those. Oh. That actually is a, at the end of that line, we want to close off this too. Right? Like something like that. Good. Make sure these endpoints are hidden inside the other line here like that, so you don't see them. Good. And then your curves. When we do curves, a lot of students are doing this. When we do curves, a lot of students like to do it like this. This is what they do for their curves. That is not how we do curves, because look how all bumpy and jacked up this looks now, right? We don't want all that bumpiness. So here's what we're going to do. Get rid of this. We're going to do the start point of the curve. We're going to select like a center, like the midpoint of the whole curve, and then the end point of the curve. And then what we're going to do is we're going to click down, click and hold our pen tool. We're going to go to anchor point tool, curve that bad boy. Look at that. Done. Very nice. Very nice. That's it. Look how much smoother that is compared to the other one, right? So do that on all your curves. That'll really, really clean this up. Really bring it to the next level. But aside from that, man, you're doing a great job. You're killing it. Don't worry about it. You're doing good. That's just a main detail that I would use going forward. But good stuff. Very good work. And then I think the last one, I got this hand drawing from you for the last one. Good job with your hand drawing, but I'm missing a vector drawing, and I'm also missing the photo of the chair that you used. So please be sure to submit both of those. I think I messaged you in Canvas about it, but I'll probably try to message you again. Please, 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 please make sure I get both of those in order for you to get a full grade on this assignment, okay? All right, guys. Everybody did a great job. I know these are long videos. Though I appreciate everyone's patience and bearing with me, and I hope that you find the feedback helpful to you. Always reach out, email me, message me in Canvas if you have any questions, if there's anything you didn't understand, or if you'd like to talk further. Please always just let me know. Thanks, guys.